And the best
Ben Lawson.
Ben, it's Claudio, Matt LaHood, and Clinton. I don't know if you remember, but you're on the Mentors podcast show on episode number 2.
Clouds.
Hey! He sounds like a long-lost brother. Hey, Benny. Hey, mate, welcome back. I was looking back, and you were one of the first early in the start of the show back in 2018, about over a year ago, and you're on episode number 2, my friend. Welcome back.
2. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, mate, we want to catch up with you because, you know, one of the things that we do is invite people back, see what their journey's been like since we last caught up, and maybe you can fill us in because last time we spoke, you were Lawson estate agents, like Lawson Group.
Yep.
You were one office. You were an independent office. And last time I looked, I think you've joined a franchise. Is that right?
Yeah, man, a lot has happened since then.
And all I remember is Matt LaHood saying is you should be able to put your business plan on a matchbox.
Yeah.
Did you end up doing that, Benny?
Yeah. Yep.
Did it fit on the back of a matchbox?
It's been on a few matchboxes since then.
That's a good thing.
Mate,
Yeah.
fill us in since about 18 months ago.
Actually, they're making the matchboxes bigger these days.
yeah, the barbecue matches.
We might be getting a bit old school, Clouds, using that.
I know. So,
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. All right,
Firelighters.
so Ben, fire away. Let the listeners know your journey when we spoke to you 18 months ago and what's happened since. Yeah, fill us in.
Yeah, look, so 18 months ago, I think I was driving in my car when I was chatting to you then.
You were.
and,
I think you were on the M1, I think.
Yeah, I was. So, look, 18 months ago, I was running an independent office there and just looking for the best way to grow and expand our business and just getting clarity of vision. And I think I was talking to you about that and where we were going with it all. So from there, really look to expand our business and to grow into a new marketplace, into a bigger marketplace, so we could expand with what my vision was. So we've opened a second office.
Awesome.
And expanded into an adjacent marketplace, which is a much bigger marketplace. Where we can...
Can I just pause you there for one moment, Ben, because, Matt, what an interesting thing. The last 12 to 18 months, we've seen the market was pretty volatile.
Yeah.
We probably saw offices closing.
Yeah.
And Ben, you started opening another one, which is I'm really fascinated by. So, the market was very volatile over the last 12 to 18 months, and we've seen a bit of a pickup in the last sort of 3 months. But what made you take that risk to open up another one, the second office?
Well, I don't know.
It's a good answer.
Yeah, too many beers one night. He goes, let's open up another office. Who cares what the market's doing?
No, look, a lot of people thought, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But you know what? Look, what it was I had a very clear vision of what I wanted to achieve in my life. This is not a practice run. You only get one go at it, and I really am very, very clear on what I want to achieve out of this business.
Yep.
And there's only one time to do it. So we just launched out and expanded our marketplace, expanded the business, and the market really tanked and went backwards the second half of last year and the first half of this year.
Yep.
So that was really tough, launching a new business into a new market with a new brand.
I know exactly what you mean.
We had
I've just done the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a little business.
We just had to suck it up.
Suck it up.
And, nobody cares, right? So we just had to get on with it and we'll continue to get on with it until the market recovers and we build the brand and build some market share, and that's just how it is.
Ben,
so,
what a super attitude, because I'm resonating exactly what you're saying. I started this brand when the market was tanking as well. But at the end of the day, how much have you learnt in the last 2 years versus how long have you been in the game?
23.
Okay, so how much have you learnt in the last 2 versus the last 20?
Oh, I feel like I've learned everything.
Well, there you go. And and if you know what,
it's like
if you're
started again,
absolutely, and you would have had to learn how to reinvent yourself and learn how to run business in a lean, mean machine in the current market, which a lot of people still will take a long time, and some may never even get there to work out what they need to do to adjust to the new market. But if you've survived in the last 2 years and started to open up business and offices, you've got a very bright, rosy future ahead of you.
Yeah, that's what I figure. You know, if we can survive the last 18 months, we can survive anything.
Yeah.
And look, this is what I thrive on. I love it. This is why I bounce out of bed. It gives me passion. It's exciting. It's fun. You know, there's another problem to solve every day.
Yep.
And the vision is clear. The mission is clear, and you know we've been able to define what that vision is, create great leadership around it, create clear roles, get people to stay in their lanes, and
that's really good.
Really define who we are as a team.
What suburbs are you operating in?
Culture.
Ben, sorry, I dropped out there. What suburbs are you operating in?
So, we're operating across the entire Central Coast now and into the southern end of Lake Macquarie.
Oh, great spot.
Yeah. Yeah. So, look, it's just a great region that we're very passionate about. We live and breathe from this area. This is home for us. So,
and are you seeing a lot of influx of Sydney-siders moving up there for better lifestyle?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a big part of, the Sydney-siders' retirement plan. Sydney-siders have got such wealth tied up in their own personal property and their assets there that, it's part of how they retire. So they build up their wealth in their major asset. They can sell that for $2, $3, $4 million and then come up here and buy a home for $600,000 to $800,000.
Unbelievable.
A lot of their finance in their bank, into their super, and live a fantastic life on the beach.
Fantastic lifestyle, isn't it? And just a lot more laconic and laid back and less stressful.
I might sell my house here in the northern beaches and move to the Central Coast.
Have you got anything for Claudio? But he's got more than 600,000. He's got 3 or 4 mil to drop.
I don't know about that.
With all his coaching business he's got, he's booked out for the next 3 years.
Oh my goodness! So Ben, I suppose you went from being an independent and now you're a franchise with PRD. And if PRD is a very strong brand up in Newcastle, very strong brand in the Hunter Valley. Obviously, you're gone through that Lake Macquarie, then going into the Central Coast. If a principal out there is listening to you right now going, do I join a franchise or do I remain being an independent? What were some of the key sort of making decisions for you to follow the franchise model?
Look, you've got to really research it for yourself. I've done both over the years. We have been in franchise before we were independent, and both are great. Depends who you are. And for me, I really wanted the support of being able to reach out to some other high-performing principals within a network.
Yep.
And to have the support of the guys from the Newcastle, Port Stephens, Hunter Valley offices, which are, very high-performing offices in the top 10 REB offices there. These are companies that are doing, 500-plus sales a year there, and they're very, very forthcoming with how they run their businesses. And that support within the network is just amazing. And our region joins their region. So, that is such a boost to be able to implement, strategies in their business into my business.
Yep.
So, and to me, that was just a no-brainer.
And you know what it is? I think, you just got a model, and it makes a lot of sense when you've got a strong office in Newcastle, strong office in Hunter Valley, and then you're just sort of moving your way into Lake Macquarie. You're modelling someone else who's doing it quite well, and you're so close to the other high-performing offices already, which is a bit of a plug-in, right, Matty? Like you're just plugging into the next suburbs.
Sort of a gap that you fill.
Yeah, 100%. So that to me makes a lot of sense. To make it make this thing work.
Do you have any partners, Ben, or you're solo?
Sorry, mate, I didn't catch that.
Do you have any partners? Like you have a business partner?
Yeah, absolutely. My mum and dad are partners in the business.
Oh,
with me.
okay.
And they've been they started the business 30 odd years ago.
Oh, that's great.
And they're amazing partners in the business, supporting me with it there. So it's just.
That's great to have someone you can trust, isn't
fantastic.
it? Yeah, absolutely. Trust and nothing like family to go and share the load between yourselves.
Yeah. So we've also got Clinton here, Benny, and obviously we've got Matt and myself. But if there's a question you could ask us right now, and you know what, I always ask people, what are your roses? Like what are your wins right now? What are your sort of buds? What are you working on? What could be what are your buds right now, I suppose, Ben? And what's your thorn? Like what are your sort of challenges or roadblocks that you're facing at the moment? So hit us off with some buds first. What are you working on at the moment? And then lead us into some of the thorns.
Yeah, okay. So, look, at the moment, I guess what we're really working on and doing really well at is building a winning culture in the team. We've got some just fantastic people working in the business, and we're just defining who we are as a team.
Yep.
And the people on our team, that's going really well. So, really enjoying that, building that winning culture. They're great vibe in the offices, so that's great. I guess something we're struggling with in a new marketplace is just developing around with the team, getting the vendor paid marketing and just sort of, I guess, presenting that to the marketplace. And with the team, selling those packages, developing a little bit of that with some of the sales team. So just working on that at the moment, developing the right marketing strategies as the market has been shifting and tightening up there. So working on a bit of that at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, Matty, what advice would you give to our friend Ben here in relation to vendor paid advertising, trying to get money up front? Obviously, listings have been tight recently, so other agents are going, hey, we'll take the money out at settlement, or we'll give you some free marketing and we'll give you cheap commission. Yeah,
so I think the first thing, it's always dangerous to do anything for free or carry any advertising. I think it's a non-profit organisation, that job. Right? And that's the quickest way out the back door. Yeah. So I think it's first of all, it starts with belief.
Yes.
That's the first thing.
I call it value belief.
Yeah, value belief.
Yeah, because I reckon, you know what, Matty? If you don't believe in yourself, how are the people going to believe in you?
You just picked it up. And they can't, people buy your energy, right? So if you're energized around it, they'll be energized around it.
By your confidence.
So, I mean, Ben, are you good at getting VPA yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I find that part of the listing really easy.
I'll bet you if I actually asked you to to tell me how you do it, you probably would struggle, right? Because it's just a natural thing that you've just honed and you believe it. So it just happens, right?
Yeah.
So I think, how does he teach his team?
Yeah. So what you got to do is, I think you got to either you got to take your team to a listing presentation.
He hates people going. Do you like going to a listing presentation? I don't like the third world.
No, I think you got to either take some, like the ones that have got the blind spot around it with you, just one at a time. Obviously, it's one day out of your life, and that could change the rest of you. It's so much better to show someone how to do it and try and train them
in the trenches.
Yeah.
Get them out there with me. Yeah.
Do you know when we were small and your parents, the best way to get you to swim is to throw you in the pool, right? And
Jesus, my parents did that. What kind of parents did you have?
You'd probably get done for child abuse today doing that. But I mean, realistically, that is actually the best way. Throw you in, and we're there to catch you if you fall, right? But you certainly swim quick if you. It's a bit like bring them in with you, because everyone, I find with agents and it's easy to have an excuse when they don't want to do something, but if you show them it can be done, then there's no excuses. It's a no excuse environment.
Yeah, totally. I think one of the things that I normally draw this out, Matty, to a lot of my clients. I basically say there's three things that people will buy from you, right? Value belief is what you just spoke about. Second is value perception, meaning people seeing you in the marketplace, branding, profile, being consistently there. So you're buying their top line. But the third one is the incontestable value. The incontestable value is if you can't bring to the table, right, as to why someone would use you over anybody else, because they're interviewing another 3 agents, right? And you can't demonstrate or illustrate that in a listing presentation, and it could be with VPA and how you're going to do that, right? Guess what happens? You know what happens? Is they choose people just based on price.
Yep.
Oh, nothing different from this guy to the other guy. Well, the other guy's offering free marketing and he's got a cheaper commission. We'll just go with him.
Yeah.
The moment you're able to bring incontestable value
That's so true.
to the table and you demonstrate it with belief, right? People buy your confidence and people buy clarity.
See, yeah, you're right, Clouds. But Ben, I find if people can't see the value in it, they're not going to pay for it. So you're better off to get your last...
Bring case studies.
Yeah, better off to get your last 20 clients that have spent the money on vendor paid advertising. Give the new client their phone number and name, with the permissions, of course, and show every campaign and what was spent on advertising to get the result. Because social proof is more powerful than trying to just tell someone something.
Yeah, 100%. Facts don't sell.
Does that make sense?
Stories sell.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I think you're right. Having them come along with me to a presentation, I think would be.
Well, that's the first thing.
And one thing that I would do, Ben, is there's 5 critical drivers, I believe, in a real estate agent. One of them is lead generation. One of them is nurture. One of them is conversion, right? So the one we talk about conversion is if they're not converting VPA, right? And out of 10 listing presentations they've been on, they've only picked up 2. Hey, dude, we got to sit down, you and I, and work out, like, why aren't you converting VPA? Like, how are you selling it? Like, how are you demonstrating it to the client? So in a powerful and influential way that they get moved and going, if I don't do VPA, I'm going to miss out and get the best price for my home, right? So it's that conversion bit. And if I was managing a team, I'd be saying, okay, let's look at one of those critical drivers around conversion, not just converting listings, but converting VPA. Yeah?
Yeah, it's like, it's like the doctor and the anaesthetist, right? I mean, you go and see the doctor for the operation, but they say you also need the anaesthetist. That's the vendor. The marketing is the anaesthetist. It does not actually the operator. That's assisting the operation, right?
Yep.
So you can't say, I don't want to pay for the anaesthetist, I just want to have the operation. It's no different to saying, I just sell the property, but I don't want to market it.
Yeah.
To that point, a high-performing agent, will they come in with the mindset of this is what it is?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all bundled together?
So the high-performing agents, Clinton, they look at it like this. They just look, there's the marketing, there's the sale, and there's if there's no objection to it because they believe in it and they present it in a way, this is the last 20 owners and 20 houses I've sold that are like yours and here's the result. So when you present it like that, people don't go, I don't want to do that. They just don't actually do that. Now, they're genuinely, the problem is can they pay for the advertising, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and what do you look at there, Matty? Do you look at demographic of
Ben,
people?
You might want to not just go to your vendors with one set marketing campaign. You might want to give 3. You might want to give A, B, C. So that's what we do. We give A, which is like just a soft launch, photos, get it up on the market, off market, but on market, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
B is like photos, floor plan, brochure, etc. Then C is all the bells and whistles.
Yeah, newsprint, the whole lot.
Yeah, so you might want to give A, which is $1,500 or $2,000 or something. B, which is $4,500, and then C, which is $6,800 or whatever your biggest campaign is. I don't know your market that well. And then you'll find most people go for the middle one anyway, rather than just going in and saying that's the price. Because there genuinely might be somebody who's selling because of financial reasons. They don't actually have the money.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? And this is the bit where if we're doing this, and I talked about the incontestable value. So if you want them to get you, the best way for them to get you is understand their needs, understand their wants right now, their situation that's currently happening in their life, which may be no money, and what's their motivation. If you can get those 4 things, right, you get them, guess what happens? They get you.
Yeah, they
and
you.
And then when that happens, you get them, they get you. This match made in heaven happens, and they just go, you know what? Matt LaHood is my agent. And guess what? It puts you in pole position.
And there's also another danger, Clouds, of... I went to a listing presentation years ago with one of my agents. They asked me to come in to meet. It was a high-profile vendor. And my agent went in with a very good marketing campaign But he went in with one campaign. This changed my whole real estate life for good.
Yep.
Where he went in with one campaign and the vendor looked at the campaign and he said, look, I'm going to give you guys a listing, but that marketing campaign's ridiculous. And the agent took that as, oh, well, okay, we can cut it. We can cut down. He goes, no, I want you to spend, I think we gave him a campaign of like $6,000. He goes, I want you to spend $12,000 or $15,000 on this.
Yeah.
He goes, this is worth $4 million. This property, it's a family asset. I've got to make sure. So my agent was in there thinking I can cut it from 6 to
Less.
3,
Yeah.
and the guy's telling him to double it to 15,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, that was a mindset for me. That's what created the ABC in my world. So I never got caught with that problem again, right?
Yeah.
So going with 3 campaigns, because we automatically assume in this world that everybody wants to cut.
Yeah.
Well, there's a 20% of the market that wants to spend more on marketing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I reckon 90% of agents, 95% of agents are missing that opportunity because they're not even recommending, that owners go because they're scared of losing. Listen, you're doing the wrong thing by the owner if you're not telling them to spend more money marketing. And that vendor of mine who was very successful opened my mind to that exact thing when I went to that listing presentation.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I think a lot of agents go in with the mindset that the vendors are going to have a problem with the marketing before they even walk in the door.
Yeah,
But I mean, marketing at the end of the day is the thing that will drive it. If
Exactly.
you want to get attention on a property, if you want to get people to the property,
And yeah,
you've got to
exactly right,
market it.
Clinton. Most time, Clinton, too, like you go into people's homes and you ask them one question, is this your largest asset you're selling? And they go, yes. I say, well, why would you want to skimp $500 on it to not tell anyone about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Hey, Ben, mate, so glad you came back on the show. After episode 2, you've come on to episode number 40. So we've done 38 episodes in front of you since we last spoke. Mate, congratulations on your growth, going from one office to a number 2 office. Maybe when we catch up with you in 18 months' time, you might have 5 offices. I don't know. Who knows?
One at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Small stepping stones, as I say. Hey, Ben, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Congratulations once again on all your achievements that you've done with your second office and rebranding with the PRD network. Mate, if there's anything else we can do for you, let us know. But thank you so much. Have a great weekend. And thanks for being part of the Mentors.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Thanks,
talk
Ben.
to you later.
See you, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
Got something great from this episode? It would mean the world to us if you passed it on. Tune in each week as we mentor a new agent. Have a question? Want to be on the show? Get in touch with Claudio Encina, Matt LaHood, or visit our Facebook page. The Mentors is brought to you by Sprinkler.media.